Hello and welcome back to Criteria Letter Cities. This episode we're going to start with Q cities, which I'm very curious about because the only Q city I can think of right now is Quito, the capital of Ecuador. And let's just have a look at what cities we're presented with. Yep. Don't exactly know a lot of them. I know Quilmes, I know Comi. Other than that, well, I've heard of Quetzaltenango before. The rest is pretty much unknown to me. I think I've seen the one in Greenland as well before. We've got population greater than 5,000, so that probably excludes Greenland only. Might be interesting with Malta. North of the equator, ends in a vowel, not in the Americas, population above 1 million, country as red on its flag, and south of the Tropic of Cancer. I have absolutely no idea what the Tropic of Cancer is. So we're going to include has red on its flag, which is true for Greenland, which is true for China, which is true for Malta, and also true for Iran, I think, although I'm not sure about that. I think so, though. Population above 1 million. We said China, Greenland, Malta, and Iran. It's not true for Greenland and Malta, that's for sure. Now, how would you differentiate between those two Chinese cities? I have no idea. Ends in a vowel. Both of them do. Well, this is just, I'm going to guess. No, it wasn't Qingdao. It's Qingshu. All right. Country is red on its flag and its population is above 1 million. It has to be Qingdao then. Population above 1 million and not red. Quilmes is my guess. I don't know how big Quetta is. But, okay, apparently Quetta is big. Oops, clicked the wrong thing again. Don't mind me. Yep. Not in the Americas. Is true for these three. Population greater than 5,000 though. And ends in a vowel. Oh, only Comi ends in a vowel. Then we've got Quetzaltenango, which ends in a vowel. North of the equator is Iran and Greenland. However, I don't think the city in Greenland has over 5,000 people living in it. And then we've got Quilmes and Qasigiannguit. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it, as you've guessed, probably. All right. What did I want to look? Oh, maybe, again, as I did last episode, put some info slides into it right behind this about how big certain cities are, like, and what's the difference between these two, because I just don't know. Okay, so the Tropic of Cancer is apparently a line, just like the equator, but slightly further north. So while the equator runs through here, the Tropic of Cancer runs at about 23 degrees north, which means between this and the equator, you've got most of, the middle of America, the Caribbean, the northern tip of South America, a lot of Central Africa, and a lot of South Asia that you just exclude in that condition, compared to just, say, north of the equator. Now, Qingshu and Qingdao, differentiating between them is even more difficult than I imagined, because Qingshu is here, Qingdao is here. They're like right next to each other in China. One is west of Weifang, one is east of it. Qingdao is quite a bit bigger, with almost 10 million inhabitants, whereas Qingshu has about 900,000. That's the main difference between the two. Also, Qingdao is adjacent to the sea, if that should ever be relevant. All right, now with that out of the way, let's go to our cities. Which gives us north of the equator, scores less than 15 Scrabble points, capital city of a country, has an even number of letters, not in the Americas, population above 1 million, has been an Olympic host city. All right, Olympic host cities. I'm going to assume Rome has been. And it's probably the only one, yeah. Population above 1 million. Riyadh pretty much for sure. Rabat might be, actually. I think, though, Riyadh is... I think it has to be Riyadh, yeah. Maybe I'll look up Rabat afterwards. Not in the Americas. It's true for those four. For Rabat, Riga, Rotterdam and Rzeszów. Has an even number of letters. We've got 7 here, so that's not it. Riga has 4. Rotterdam has 9. Rabat has 5, so it has to be Riga. Oh. Yeah, and it has to be another one that can be in the Americas, which is Roseau. Because that has 6. Rio Cuarto has 9. Yep. Capital city of a country is Rabat. Scores less than 15. That scores more than 15 Scrabble points. That scores loads of points. And we have to be north of the equator. So it has to be Rotterdam. North of the equator is Rzeszów in Poland, and we've got Rio Cuarto left. Next on the list, S cities. We've got north of the equator scores less than 25 Scrabble points. That's a lot. Has been an Olympic host city, so we've got 5 Olympic host cities in here. East of the prime meridian, population above 10,000, capital city of a country, and its country has yellow on its flag. Okay, yellow on the flag. Madagascar doesn't, I think. Japan doesn't. Ghana might do. South Korea doesn't. India probably does. I mean, I've got a difficult time differentiating between like stuff like orange and like yellow is such a... There's barely any country that has bright yellow on its flag, which makes it difficult to remember. Sweden does. And it's a capital city, and it's above 10,000. It definitely hosted the Olympics. It's east of the prime meridian. Gonna have to say it has to be Stockholm. Capital city of a country leaves us with Seoul as the only one. Population above 10,000. It's true for Sapporo. It's definitely true for St. Louis. It's probably... Actually, is it true for St. Moritz? Not sure. If it's just that well known because there's a lot of skiing done there. I don't know if they actually have that high of a population. It definitely has been an Olympic host city though. In fact, those probably are the 3 remaining Olympic host cities we're looking for. East of the prime meridian is true for Sapporo. Is it true for Switzerland? It has to be. Then it has to be Sapporo first. Then St. Moritz, which apparently has less than 10,000 people in it. Then we've got St. Louis. North of the equator is true for India. It's not true for Madagascar. Now, Ghana is north of the equator. But Sekondi Takoradi probably scores more than 25 points. So we've got South Dum Dum, which is a brilliant name, let me just say that. North of the equator, Sekondi Takoradi, and Sambava is the last remaining city. Gonna do 2 more, I think, in this episode. T-cities is the next one, where we've got less than 15 letters, north of the equator, country's flag has red on it, capital city of a state, province or country, top 100 city by population worldwide, capital city of a country. Oh, capital city of a state was the first. Okay. Never hosted the Olympics. All right. There's a lot of them which probably never hosted the Olympics. Tallahassee sure hasn't. That city in India hasn't. Tembisa hasn't. Thousand Oaks hasn't. The only ones I'm sure have hosted are Tokyo and probably Toronto. Maybe Thessaloniki back in the day. Though capital city of a country. That leaves Tehran and Tokyo. And I don't think Tehran has hosted the Olympics. Apparently they have. My bad. Capital city leaves only Tokyo. Top 100 city by population worldwide. Probably Toronto. Capital city of a state, province or country. I have no idea about American states and their capitals. Like American states, sure, but what their capitals are, I don't know. Like Thessaloniki might be a province capital. So all of them might be, in all honesty. Country's flag has red on it. US, yes. Greece, no. India, no. South Africa, yes. And US, obviously. North of the equator, that leaves just the two US on it. Now, we've got Tallahassee and we've got Thousand Oaks. One of them is apparently a state capital, the other one isn't. I don't know. I'm going to assume, I've heard both of them before. I'm going to assume Tallahassee is a state capital, yep. Which leaves us Thousand Oaks, which leaves north of the equator, which is true for both of them, however. Tiruvananthapuram has more than 15 letters, which leaves Thessaloniki, Tembisa, and that one. All right, U cities next. For this, we've got not in the Americas, north of the equator. Country has been visited on the Amazing Race. Country flag has red on it. In Asia, country has never hosted the Olympics and capital city of its country. All right, capital city. Well, we've only got Ulaanbaatar here. Country has never hosted the Olympics. The Netherlands surely have. Brazil surely have. So, same is true for Japan and Sweden. Now, these three. In Asia is one we still have. So, we're left with Iran and Thailand. Has Bangkok ever hosted the Olympics? Country flag has red on it. I think Iran does as well as Thailand. Iran may not have been visited on the Amazing Race, though. The question is north of the equator. I'm unsure if all of Thailand is north of the equator. Some of it is. I'm going to go with Thailand. Yep. Iran is in Asia. So is Japan, which apparently was the right answer. I shouldn't just assume when I'm in a 50-50 between two cities, that 50-50 doesn't have to mean that for the next solution, it automatically has to be the other one. There can be more countries coming back into it. In this case, Japan came back into it. Country flag has red on it. It's north of the equator. The Netherlands do have red on their flag. So does Iran, I think. However, as I said, Iran hasn't been visited in the Amazing Race, I think. So it has to be Utrecht. Country has been visited on the Amazing Race, I think, is Sweden. North of the equator leaves us Umia. Not in the Americas, Upper Hutt. And Uberaba is a U city. And that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. And I'm going to see you guys next time.